Hello everybody, I'm here today with my son Matthew and we're going to be building this contraption here. Show him the contraption, Matthew.
So this is the piston tape memory from the book. It's quite a complicated design, so we didn't think it would be, well, we thought it would be a lot easier if we could show you how to build it step by step instead of just worded instructions.
This is from chapter 4 of the book Minecraft Mastery by Matthew and myself, Simon Monk.
Yep. So
where do we start, Matthew?
First of all, we're going to be building this sandstone ring here, except we're going to be using wool this time, just so it looks a bit different from the background. I'm actually going to set it quite far back, just so we've got plenty of room, because we nearly run out of room on that one. So, start off with a 4 long and 4 high, actually. Put it up here. 4. Just like this. And then what we're going to do is you're going to remove 2 of the corner blocks. Yep, I believe it's going to be this one and this one. This just means that it allows room for the pistons to be able to push each block, so we don't get stuck.
So eventually this whole structure is just going to rotate, isn't it? That's the whole idea of the piston tape.
Yeah, so that's why we have pistons horizontal up here and up here, so that they can push together. Okay. And then upwards and downwards ones to push as well.
And because it's rotating, we can eventually use it as a way of storing data, because we can have different types of blocks, some transparent and some non-transparent, and then we can use that to drive, say, a display, which I think we're going to show a bit later.
Yes, but the display is quite complicated.
Okay.
So now I'm just placing all the pistons on one that's going to push the ring around.
Okay.
It's easier if you place the piston, if you just do this, and then you've got something to place the piston off to make sure it's facing the right way.
Okay.
So now what I'm going to do, because we're going to be using a 7-segment display, we need 7 of these rings for each segment in the display. So I'm just going to copy this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. I've just got to bring this all the way out. Actually, it's probably easier if we do the pistons first. You do have to be, stuff like this happens quite a lot. You have to kind of fly around a bit, find the right angle to place the pistons at so it's facing the way you want it to.
Yeah.
Also, because this is quite complicated, you've got to be prepared to break blocks and place them again, because you might find yourself a bit stuck sometimes.
Okay. Can you just stand back for a moment so we can have a look at what you've made, or maybe finish that row, and then have a quick stand back and have a good look at what we've made so far.
That's one too much. So,
alright, so you've got the basic ring there with a corner missing, and we're repeating that all the way back 7 times, that basic pattern with the pistons.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right, so I'll just carry on with this. Just for your information, you can use any block you want to do this ring bit. Maybe with the exception of redstone blocks, because that will probably mess up the wiring. As long as it's pushable by a piston though, so you can't use furnaces, enchantment tables, chests, but you probably wouldn't use that for a building block like this anyway. It's not the right place. Right, so I think that's that ring done.
Super.
Okay, so now we're going to start hooking up each pair of pistons. So we've got the up-down pistons and the horizontal pistons. I'm actually going to start on this side over here. Actually, I'll just put the time back to day. So with these pistons here, we're just going to run repeaters directly into them, and then have redstone coming along this back here.
Okay.
For the top ones, we're going to run a line, or use stone for this, all the way behind these pistons here, and this will power these blocks, which will power each piston.
Okay.
We'll run this wire down in a minute.
So lots of staircasing to be done then, probably.
Yes. staircasing can be quite tricky because later on you'll see we'll have a bit of redstone inside here, and you have to make sure you don't interfere with that.
Okay. So it's worth putting it fairly wide away from the rest of the structure.
Yeah. So just doing the same thing over here, pointing repeaters directly into these pistons, and redstone all the way along the back. And then on here, we're actually going to put blocks above all of these pistons. All of these are just normal pistons as well, not sticky pistons.
Okay.
Redstone on top of these blocks. Right, now this is where it gets a bit complicated with staircasing, because we need this set of pistons here to be synchronized with this set of pistons here.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be exactly so they fire at the exact same time, but we want to get it as close as we can. So I think just going to get one of the screenshots from the book up. You won't be able to see this bit though, so just what I'll be able to see, just for my reference. Okay. Right, so we'll start off. It's going to start with the bit that I remember. So this isn't actually in the right order, I'm just doing this from the bits that I can remember. So I think pulls down, doesn't do that. Actually, nope. Not sure if it's worth trying to do this, or if this will mess up the recording.
Doesn't need to be exactly the same as the other one, I don't think. Once we get the basic principles.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, it needs to go to the top of here, otherwise I think it messes up with this piston.
Okay.
So we'll run redstone along like this, and then just staircasing down. Like that. And then we'll put a repeater to power this block here. And then on the other side, sorry, we need to have it. So, first of all, I'm going to bring this down one here, and I'm going to go like this. So we're going to have redstone on top of it.
Okay.
And like this, I think. And I'm just going to run this redstone here. You have to be careful as well, because you've got to run redstone around a lot, but you're not actually doing it more than 15 blocks, otherwise the redstone...
Right. Is there any problem putting repeaters in there? Because the timing's fairly critical for this thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're okay having this repeater here.
Right.
Because there's a 4-tick delay between each piston set firing.
Right.
So this horizontal set will fire, and then 4 ticks later this up and down one will fire, I think.
Okay.
So what we'll also need to do is get this set up. So we can do something like this. What happens is this repeater powers this block here, which will power this redstone dust. Hook it up like that.
Okay.
We'll put a repeater here because if we use redstone it might trigger this piston here.
Yeah.
So I think we can just do something like this. Just redstone all the way along here. And then if we use a repeater here, and I think redstone here is fine. If it doesn't work, we can change that to a repeater.
Yeah.
So this is going to be for the vertical pistons, and we'll just put this over here for now. Our main push button to set the whole thing going will be about here.
Right.
So now we just need to connect up this side, which we can do like that, and bring that round as well. So now we just want to run this here like this, but we need to, actually I need to count out this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. So that means we will need a repeater here, and we can put one here. Set this to 4 ticks, just to make sure that those are offset.
Right, so, sorry, why again the 4-tick delay on the left-hand one? Is that...
So what will happen is the pistons that have blocks directly in front of them, so
Yeah.
this row and this row, they'll push first.
Okay.
So
but
then
you can't move the rest of the blocks until they've done their moving.
Yeah. So then it will look like this, and then these set will go.
Okay.
And push them to get our circular motion.
Okay.
And actually, just need a sticky piston, because what we're going to do here is we're going to make a one-tick. Actually, no, we're going to make a one-tick pulse. Although it will get lengthened out, it's just nice to have a clean pulse. So that is a sticky piston with a block on top. Another block here, a repeater, and then I think we can just have redstone like this and a button. So hopefully this works first time. Yep, I think that worked. Okay.
Okay. Well, shall I go around and press the button while you do a view of the side of the thing?
What I'll do as well is I'll replace one of the blocks with a sandstone block, so that you can just see how it rotates around.
That's true. It's difficult to spot otherwise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get myself in position. And there we go. So a few times until you get the sandstone all the way. Go again. And again. So that's really cool. That is how you can store data, because you can put a different pattern of different types of block in there, and we'll show a bit later how you can use that to. I think probably we'll do it as a separate video. Show how you can drive a 7-segment display. Like the old-fashioned LED displays with seven segments, each of which can either be on or off. You can use this to control which segments are displayed.
Yeah. One last thing.
Yeah.
At the moment, this is just pushing blocks around. We don't actually have anything to get an output from.
Right, yeah.
So what we're going to do for that is, we need a redstone torch. What you need to do is we're going to have blocks like this with the repeaters all the way along, and we'll have a torch here and redstone like this. So you just want repeaters all the way along here with redstone on these blocks, actually, to replace. If we do like this, so repeaters facing to all of these blocks, and then redstone with one torch at that end on top of blocks across here. Now, because these blocks, they aren't actually being pushed by the piston, so they'll stay where they are. If you want to push the button again, you can see the blocks around it move, but they stay there.
Again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then our actual output will be from here.
Okay. So is it worth slapping a torch or something on the lid there so I can press the button and you can see it?
Yeah, I'll just... Oh, that's weird. Yeah, so this is our output here. So what you want to do is alternate between repeaters and redstone. It's easier to get signal from if you do it like that.
Okay.
So what I'll do here is we can just do a quick example to show how you could use the pattern that we were talking about before. If we just get glass and put that here, if you press the button, you can see this is now off because the repeater can't put power through the glass. So that's how you get your ons and offs all the way across.
So if I do that again now, the flip states again.
It'll be back on.
Super. That's great.
Yeah. So I think that's more or less it for the piston tape.
That's right, and the sun is setting, so I think we'll call the end of that video.